chairing the session, Dr. Katende from University of Misra, Oman, and my co-chair will be Mr. Moiz from University of Misra as well. The rapporteur for this session is Filos Ali Safan. Is he here? Welcome. The presenters are P. Munerzi. The second presenter is Dr. Anil Kumar.
He finished?
He already gave his presentation. Would he begin again? No. And the third presenter is Mr. Katende Nicholas. And the fourth presenter is Dr. Janet Dea. Fine. So, warm welcome to the presenters, the participants and listeners and gainers actually for the session. Let us begin. Because we have enough time for the presenters, you may take your time. The time allotted for this session was 2 hours. But I could have divided it into half an hour for each presenter. But since we have enough time, we will have a good discussion round also. So I may request Mr. Nicholas to give his presentation first. You may take 30 minutes and then 10-15 minutes we can take all the questions as per the audience cases. Then we go on for the second presenter and we can have a panel discussion among the available audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Nicholas Katende, as she has put it. Now, my project is, or my paper that I'm discussing now, is about enhancing trust in cloud computing using MP5 hashing algorithm and RSA encryption standard. Now, I want to first bring everyone on board, because I know that so many people who are in the other world of business who might not really understand what even cloud computing in the first place is all about. Now, cloud computing is a new technology in the IT world that is trying to reduce on the expenditures by the smaller companies to buy servers and host them and keep so many things at their workplace. So what we're doing now, we have commercial cloud sellers like Amazon, like Microsoft, Google, just to name but a few, that you can easily purchase space and you host or you put all your data on their servers. Now, there's so many questions that come up. If I just need, let me just get a notebook just to round up something. I think my voice is loud enough. Can I put it here or I put it? Now, when it comes to security, there are some few things that we always need to consider. Whether you're keeping data on your computer or you are giving data to someone else or to a third party. And I'm representing them just on 3 circles here. Now, there are things that we normally use. There are basically 3, which we normally abbreviate as CIA. And I know some of us will automatically say Central Intelligence Agency or Net Agency. But C basically means confidentiality. That is, you are only sure that your data is yours if no one can be able to modify it or no one can see that data. If you can be able to see that data and no one else can be able to access your private information, that means that data is confidential. Now, we also have to have another item here called integrity, meaning that it's only the rightful owner of the data that has got the capability to modify or to do any changes on that data. If someone else modifies that data, that means the integrity of that data is already
compromised.
Then another bit is
availability. That if you're the authorized and the owner of the data, you should have it anytime, anywhere, and any place. Meaning that as long as you have it, you don't have anything like denial of service or disputed denial of service, because it is your data. Now, when you have all these three pillars in place, that's when you can say that you are secure. If your data is confidential, that you're the only one who can see it and no one else, and you are the only person who can modify your personal data, and whenever you need that data is available, that's when you say that your system or your data is secure. Now, these are very easy to manage on your local system. Now, the biggest problem we have in the security world is when you push your data to the cloud, you basically lose control of some of those items. In fact, the only thing that you have in control over is availability. That as long as you have internet connectivity, as long as you can have your computer with you, you have access to data. But how many people are accessing your personal data? That's a question to ask. That's about confidentiality. How many people are using your data and modifying it to their own benefit? That's the integrity. So when you come to cloud computing, that becomes a factor to consider. Is my data confidential? Is the integrity maintained? As long as it is not maintained, then we end up having issues. In fact, when you come, according to my research and what I'm still working on, you find that there is low intake of cloud services because of lack of trust. I'm very okay when my data is on my computer, but I feel unease when I push it to someone else's server, and that has already impacted on the absorption of cloud services in the world and even in Africa or in Rwanda at large. So I was coming up with a solution that can be able to integrate. Now, the MD5 hashing algorithm is an algorithm or a software that you can use that keeps some kind of a number. It uses basically, it uses 128 bits, which automatically goes to 2 to power 128 to find its encryption algorithm. That means you have to round off to that figure for you to be able to decrypt the, how to access the data there. Now with MD5 hashing algorithm, it generates a number on any data that you store. Let me say I encrypt my data and gives me an address of 5. If anyone accesses and modifies that data, that hash value automatically changes. That means I can be sure that my data has been tampered with. So that's all about the integrity of my data. Then when I go to, or I use the RSA encryption standard, that one only helps me to encrypt my data that no one can access, no one can view it, because even if you view, you cannot make sense out of it. So it stays confidential, and you cannot modify what you cannot understand, and I also maintain the integrity of my data. So at my site, I encrypt it using RSA. This one, it uses 617 public key bits. Now, it means that you have to raise this to, that is 2 to power 617 in order to decrypt that data. And the people who generated this put $200,000 US for anyone who break it. And up to now, no one has succeeded yet. So when I consider, or when I use the MD5 hashing algorithm and RSA, it makes it much harder for anyone to manipulate my data, and also the accessibility of that data is okay because I can be able to generate it. Now, when you go through still within my research, you find out that in most cases, the cloud providers secure the data at their servers, but the data is not secured on our systems. And we always create a loophole for easy modifications from our computers. Because they'll access the cloud, someone else accesses my laptop and automatically modifies the data. Now, what I'm dealing with here is I make sure that I encrypt data at the cloud side. I also encrypt it on the consumer side. At the end of the day, I'm sure no one will access. Then I also generate the MD5. The MD5 algorithm is all about the trust element, that no one has modified my data. Because whenever you try to modify, automatically it generates another value, which is different from the original, and automatically will signal there is something wrong that has happened. So in that way, at least I'll be sure that the system I'm using is trustworthy. Despite the fact originally the cloud providers were safeguarding their side and there was no mutual auditability. Because I can't know what Google is doing with my data. What is Amazon doing with my data? And so many things. In fact, if you remember, there was a hack that took place, I think in 2014, December, where some of the celebrities, their sites were hacked by, as in from Amazon, which became a big issue. And it's spreading out and trying to increase on that. So my whole project is all about trying to secure data. Now, the end user here is the cloud consumer. But we are storing and receiving encrypted data. That is from the storage cloud services. But now when you try to bring in the aspect of security cloud, I encrypt and decrypt my data using the RSA encryption standard. Then I verify the integrity of the user data using the MD5 encryption standard. So at least with that, I'll be very sure that my data, whenever it is, whether it is at my local machine or it is in the cloud, at least I'm all safe. So that is what I'm basically working on. And I try to do some survey of what other people have already tried to do in relation to that. There is one who designed an architectural design and method for enforcing mutual auditability with security transparency. Now, the issue with security transparency is one, no company in the world will give you its encryption because it will be exposing itself. Whether it is using the best or the weakest, it will never allow you to access their site. That means this security transparency becomes an issue. But we are trying to enforce a bit of mutual auditability there, that we have a third party who audits the data on my machine as a cloud consumer, but also audits data at the provider side. And when that happens, maybe you can be able to have a harmonized way. But still, before you come in to audit what has been going on, am I safe? Because that's the whole idea of cloud computing and why people are not taking it up. The main question is, how safe is my data? How can I trust the data over there? So this one was trying to bring in the third party to audit and see what happens at the cloud consumer side and the cloud provider side. But now the only problem that comes in is that is more of an end product. What I'm looking at is a proactive measure. That from the word go, when you allow to use cloud, you put in that model, and then automatically it will help you gain the trust. Then we also have different algorithms here. Now, normally when you look at the asymmetric, we have basically two. We have symmetric and asymmetric. Symmetric basically means you are encrypting data but using one key, which you normally call the primary key. That means when you encrypt data on one side, the person who receives that data on the other side uses the same key to encrypt and to decrypt. And the problem is, how do you exchange that key? How do you make sure that Bob, who is sending data, if you have Alice here trying to send data to Bob, how sure are you that the key that you are transmitting with it for him to decrypt the data has not been compromised in the way? That is one of the biggest problems you have when you're using the symmetric key encryption. But under that you have so many others. I cannot explain all of them here, but I'll share my work with the Word document which has all these explaining details. Now, I preferred going or using the asymmetric, which allows two keys. That is, you have the one which is public and the one which is private. So when Alice wants to encrypt data, he uses Bob's public key, because now for Bob, Alice has got a public key and then a private key, which I'm going to call P1. Then Bob also has a public key and then a private key, which I'm calling P2K. Now, Alright, public keys are accessible, available to anyone who wants to send data to you. But private keys are secret keys owned and controlled by the authorized users. Now, when I'm sending data, that is Alice sending data to Bob, automatically Alice will encrypt data using Bob's public key. And Bob, to decrypt that data, he uses his primary key. That means there is no need of exchange of keys, and there you are much safer compared to when you're using the symmetry. And the vice versa applies. If Bob wants to send data to Alice, Bob encrypts data using Alice's public key, and then Alice will be able to read that data using her own private key. So the issue of exchange of keys is easily managed that way. Now, with this one, there's so many other types of encryption standards, but I prefer using the RSA because, at least for now, no one has managed to break down the code or that could be generated by the RSA. That's why I basically chose that one. It's still a bit much user-friendly. So this one was generated some time back, but I don't want to go through this because that's what I've been explaining, but it gives a sequence in which it keeps breaking down the information as it is encrypting it, but using the 2 to power 617 as the value for it. And then it will keep generating the keys as it is encrypting, and then decrypting will be done on the other side of the consumer. Then the MD5 here, it uses basically 128 bits of message digest, which also break it down into several packets of 16 and 32-bit blocks, which also includes some bit of padding somewhere, then checking the length of it, and then dividing it until it can be able to break it down and then generate the value that you want. Now, when you use this, these are just the steps that we follow, which if I go through, I'll be basically going taking you back to class. This, when you follow those steps, they'll automatically help you to generate a unique value that is independent on a particular set of data. That in case someone modifies, when you just add a 0 or you just add a full stop, that value automatically changes. And that is just enough to flag me to tell me that, yeah, your data has been compromised or someone has modified your data. And then I can be able to either stop the service or have another backup for such. So this is how MD5 does it. You have the ABC there that keeps on adding and shifting and adding. The more it does this process of adding values to it and whatnot, it basically makes the encryption harder to break and also gives a unique value that can easily be accessed by only one. So the research gap that I saw here was, as I told you from the beginning, most of the cloud consumers and cloud providers, they are working in isolation. I buy a resource from MTN right now in Rwanda because MTN provides cloud. Yeah, so long as I've paid and I can access, that's where it ends. But how secure is my data I'm posting there? That becomes an issue on its own. So with this one here, I was trying to look at providing security at both the cloud and the provider's cloud using the MD5 and then the RSA standard, so that I'm able to keep track. And from there, you'll find that it will be quite harder for any external person to go into my data, and I'll at least try to minimize on the issues of cybersecurity that is becoming a very big issue right now. In fact, from 1 week back, there was analysis on CNN where they showed that US alone loses $2 trillion per year because of cybercrime. So when you try to use this, because most of the cyber crimes now are taking place on people's servers, and as long as your server is not protected, then you are likely to get hit. So it is my work that I'm working on for my PhD, and I'm working with Dr. Cheriot, who is not around, but is the director of Jomo Kenyatta campus in Rwanda. So that is what I have for today.